Getting around China has never been easier. Don't speak Chinese? No problem. I'm going to introduce you to an app today that will allow you to search for your locations in English, take you where you need to go, and at a very reasonable price. And on top of that, if you're willing to learn a little Chinese, you'll save even more money. Let's talk about it. 大家好，我是 Surat 在中国. Hey everyone, it's Surat in China. How y'all doing today? I hope you're having a simply fantastic day. I'm having a great day. The sun is shining. The air is cooler. It's a wonderful day to be outside. Unfortunately, I'm stuck here in my office at work, but that's okay because I'm going to show you, if you happen to be in China or plan to be traveling to China, how to get around very, very easily and inexpensively. And speaking of inexpensive, if you're looking for a very inexpensive yet very hardworking VPN with a lot of options and a lot of great payment options, especially if you happen to be in China, take a look down below in the description at SimpleLink. It's the VPN that I use on all my devices, and I highly recommend it. And hey, if you're not looking for a VPN, but you still want to show some support to the channel, we're getting closer and closer to that 9,000 subscriber mark. I'm hoping to hit 10,000 by the end of the year, and you can help simply by hitting that subscribe button down below and throwing this video a thumbs up. It really does help the YouTube algorithm to find my videos and share them with more people. Now let's talk about DiDi. DiDi is the Chinese equivalent of Uber, or whatever your ride calling app is where you happen to live. DiDi in the past was a little bit challenging because it didn't really have an English version and it was very new. However, the new version of DiDi is fantastic. Not only does it use the Gaodu map, which is a very, very detailed and very location-specific map, but it does feature a very, very comprehensive English version. Now, not only can you use the app in English, but you can ask support in the chat for help in English. And I've even received a callback from the support center. And I explained to the person who called me that I was a foreigner and that my Chinese wasn't very good. And she immediately started speaking to me in English as well, which I found to just be off the hook. Definitely next level customer service in China. I was very, very impressed with that. And all they wanted to do was get my feedback about a small issue that I had had in the past. I was very happy to talk to them, and they assured me that they would look into that issue and thanked me for my continuing service. Now, I do use DiDi very often because the area that I work in does not have great transportation. I do live in a factory area of Shenzhen, so there's no subway here. There's few buses, and because of the mass number of workers in this area, both office workers and factory workers, there are literally tons of people. So I use DiDi every day to get to work and to go home. Now, typically this costs me about 3 to 4 Canadian dollars in each direction. However, it can be challenging in the evenings, especially if it's raining, because right at 6 o'clock, you get masses of humanity all exiting out of their offices and workplaces. And this tends to slow down the service quite a bit. But I found a trick that helps out a lot with that. But first, before we get to that, let's take a look at DiDi right now. Now, the DiDi app is available on all the app stores, whether it's Google Play or iOS Store, the Apple Store, or any of the other smaller app stores in China or outside of China. It's a very common app, and it's absolutely free. And it does feature Chinese and English versions. And the English version, as I mentioned, is fantastic. So let's take a look at the English version right now, and I'll show you just how easy it is to get a ride in China. So we're looking at the app right now. And as you can see, I've got my location set to the Futian station in the central area of Shenzhen. Now you can pick whatever location you want. You can do so by probably the easiest way, if you're not 100% sure even the name of the place you're going, is to just drag the little pointer around and you can choose whatever location you're looking for. Say that you're at the Fund Mansion number 5. Never been there, not sure what it is, but if you know what it is, great. So you can choose your location that way, or you can choose your pickup location by tapping pickup location, and you can choose from your history from places that you've already been. Or you can simply type in the top in English or Pinyin, whichever you're more comfortable with. So I'm going to go here and type in Fu. Now, even just with 3 letters, it's giving me options. So it's a very smart search. So I'm actually at Futian Station, let's say. So I'm going to click Futian Station, and it's going to locate me right there. And as you can see from the picture, there are a bunch of cars available very, very nearby. So now I've got to pick a destination. And again, it's just as easy. I click destination. Now, let's say I wanted to go to the airport. Now I've got the airport at the top of the list, so I could choose it that way, or I could type again air, and it's going to give me a list of Terminal 3, the Shenzhen Baoan Airport, Airport East Subway Station, etc. So it's very, very comprehensive and smart, and you can find your locations very easily. So I'm going to put the Shenzhen Baoan International Airport. So now it knows where I want to go, and it's going to give me an option of what type of vehicle I want to take. Now, as you can see, I've got the top. That's the vehicle I always choose, is the Discount Express for 65.41 renminbi, which is a very, very reasonable price. It's about 12 or $13 Canadian. No way in hell you're getting that distance in Canada for 12 or $13. That type of trip would easily be 60 to possibly even 100 Canadian dollars. This is 12. Okay, it's incredibly reasonable. The only downside of the Discount Express is there may be less vehicles available. Therefore, you might end up waiting a little bit longer. Now, if you're in a hurry or you don't mind paying a little bit more, as you can see, there are a bunch of different options as well. For example, the regular express is 92 renminbi. Now, that's not exactly how much it's going to be. The discounted express is an upfront fare, a fixed rate. No matter what the traffic situation is, it's going to be 65. However, with the express, it could be a little bit longer if there's traffic jams. It could be a little bit less if the car gets there really quickly, but they put it at approximately 92. So you know approximately what you're going to pay. A taxi, being a professional taxi, is going to be a little bit more, but again, it's approximately 117, still way cheaper than it would be in Canada. We do have another upfront fee for the Premier, which would be a luxury car with bottled water inside, a nicer interior, generally more comfortable ride. And the 6-seater, if you happen to be traveling with more than 2 or 3 people, another very excellent way to go. And again, an upfront fee, so you know exactly how much you're going to pay. Then there are a few other types like the taxis, the luxury vehicle, if you want to go to the airport in a Benz, or even the luxury 6-seater if you want to show up in one of the ultra luxury leather interior type of minivans. So you have quite a few options available. And once you have decided, you confirm your request, and that's it. It's going to show you the license plate of the vehicle that's coming, the name of the driver. It's going to show you a picture of the vehicle so you know exactly which vehicle to get into. Once you do get into it, the driver is going to ask you for the last 4 digits of your phone number to ensure that you are the right person, and away you go. That's it. When you arrive at your destination, you click pay, and you're finished. You pay through WeChat or whatever, or Alipay, whatever your payment system is you're using in China, and you're finished. Nice and easy. Now, I'm not going to confirm the request right now because obviously I'm not at Futian Station and I'm not going to the airport. So we're going to leave that alone. But I do want to show you something else, which is really, really good if you're willing to learn a little Chinese. Now, I'm going to back out of this. And now I'm back at my main page. As you can see, everything is in English. You know, you can choose rides, you can schedule rides, you can call a taxi, you can call an you can schedule rides specifically to the airport. You can even travel across the border to Hong Kong if you wanted in a private vehicle, but it is a little bit expensive, so I haven't tried that myself. But what I do want to show you is if we go into the Me section, we have trips, so you can see all the receipts for the places you've been. Wallet if you choose to prepay, or if your company is prepaying your account for you, for example. Customer service, again, you can speak to them in English. And we have settings. Now, underneath that, we have coupons, travel cards, safety, promos, etc. Now, there are coupons available, which are very, very good. You can buy coupon packs. Say, for $2, you can get a pack of 5 renminbi, 5 renminbi discounts. So that's you pay $2, get $6 worth of coupons. It's not a huge amount of money, but if you're saving money, if you're on a budget, it's a great way to go. Travel card, again, you can prepay so that you just have the money on your account. Perhaps, like I said, your company's paying for it, so you can just get a prepaid amount on there, not have to worry about paying through WeChat. But what I want to show you is in the settings. Now, in the settings, there are a lot of settings you generally don't have to play with very much. But what I want to do is change the language. And I know you're saying, why would you change the language? Well, in Chinese, there are a lot more options available, and it's actually quite a bit cheaper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose that same location, that being the Futian station. Now, again, I need to be able to know that it says Futian station there in Chinese. But if I can remember those characters or have a little cheat sheet so I can see the locations I want to go, I'm going to click the destination. I know it's the destination, and I'm going to click the Terminal 3 of the airport, right? Now here, it's quite easy in this situation because it says T3. We know that's what it said in the last one, but if you're willing to learn some characters, it's not bad. For example, this is my history list. I know what all these places are. I've taken the time to learn these characters, to know these locations. So why would I bother doing that when it's so much easier in English? Let's choose the airport again. And as you can see this time, because I'm using the Chinese app, I have far more options when it comes to rides. When it comes to fixed fares, I've got the one here from DiDi, which is 61. I've got another one from another company here, which is 69. There's a ride sharing service here. If you don't mind traveling with other people going to the same location, you can save substantial amounts of money. You have a lot more metered rides. You have a lot more fixed fare rides. So just by using this, you have a lot more options for finding a ride than you would in English. Also, there are more coupons available on the Chinese app than there are on the English app as well, which is something that I've talked to DiDi about, and they're looking into to actually offer the coupons to the English customers as well. But just purely out of the fact that I'm willing to learn the Chinese characters, this means I have so many more options to be able to get where I want to go. And thus, when I call a car company, when I call for a car at the end of the day after work, instead of waiting for one discount express to come pick me up, I could have 4 or 5 different companies all looking for those rides. And what might take me 15 minutes to wait for a ride before now might only actually take me 2. So I do prefer using the Chinese app. And once again, it did take me getting used to being able to go through my list and see that this is my work location, this is my home location, this is the Futian border crossing, this is the Shenzhen Bay border crossing, this is Saige, etc., etc. The places that I typically go, I've learned the Chinese characters for, and now it just makes it so much easier. So if you are willing to put in the time and learn a little bit of Chinese, or like I said, do what I do. I don't need this anymore, but I do keep it with me. I've got my little cheat sheet with the English names and the Chinese characters so that I can, if I forget, which I don't think I would forget anymore, but if I did, I could very, very easily just look at my little cheat sheet and go, oh, yeah. Those are the characters for the Futian port where I want to go, etc. So DiDi is such a fantastic app. It's a great way to get around China. It's available to foreigners in English, and it's also much, much better and much more economical and more ride options in Chinese if you're willing to put in the effort. I personally was, and it saves me hundreds of renminbi every month just by learning those Chinese characters. How about you? Would you be willing to put in the effort if you actually lived here? Would you learn your home, your work, your friend's home, the places that you like to go every day or on a regular basis in Chinese to save a few bucks? Let me know in the comments below. And I hope you found this video helpful. It's a great way to get around China. If there are any other apps or services that you're interested in, if you're planning to come to China or just want to know more about China in general, let me know in the comments. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video. 再见。